Fulham welcome Manchester City to Craven Cottage, having slipped further into the mire last week after they were thumped 4-1 at Everton. New boss René Meulenstein was unable to build on the momentum gained from victory over Aston Villa a fortnight ago, but despite a 7th defeat in 8, the Cottagers are still just a point from safety. Manchester City continued their flawless home record last Saturday by hitting table toppers Arsenal for 6, but boss Manuel Pellegrini knows his side must start producing that form on the road if they're to take the title. So far, City have taken just 8 points from a possible 24 away, but goal correspondent Greg Stobart expects them to take all 3 points in this one.
It's hard to see beyond Manchester City for this one. They're on absolutely fantastic form. They thrashed Arsenal last week. Of course, away from home they've been rather patchy, but I think they'll cruise past Fulham. They'll miss Sergio Aguero. He's out for a couple of months. That's a massive blow, but I think for all Fulham have improved, I think Manchester City 3-0.
Having returned to winning ways against Aston Villa last week, Manchester United haven't yet given up hope of retaining the title, but no further slip-ups can be tolerated, with David Moyes' side currently 10 points off the pace. After 4 games without a victory, the 3-0 triumph at Villa Park also saw Danny Welbeck net for the first time since the opening day. West Ham arrive at Old Trafford hovering precariously just a point above the relegation zone. A goalless draw with fellow strugglers Sunderland last Saturday means the Hammers have won only 1 of their last 9 games.
I think if this was at Upton Park, it could be a different story. But at Old Trafford, I think United should be able to win this. You say should because, of course, they're missing some key players. Robin van Persie, Michael Carrick, Wayne Rooney's picked up an injury now, so that's a big issue for David Moyes. But West Ham away from home, they're pretty toothless. They managed to beat Tottenham again in midweek, but I don't think they're strong enough to score goals away from home, so I fancy Manchester United to win 2-0.
Tottenham begin life without Andre Villas-Boas with a daunting trip to Southampton. Last week's home hammering against Liverpool proved a humiliation too many for Spurs chairman Daniel Levy, who sacked the Portuguese boss just a few hours later. Southampton's draw at Newcastle last week means it's 5 games without a win for the Saints, and hopes of an unlikely Champions League push are starting to fade. Nevertheless, it's still been a superb campaign so far for Mauricio Pochettino's side, so much so that the Argentine boss has been linked to the vacant Spurs post.
Well, Southampton have been the success story of the season. There's a reason why Tottenham are being linked with Pochettino as their new manager. I think at home Southampton are very well organised. They're fluid in attack, and Tottenham are a mess at the moment. They've changed the manager, but there certainly wasn't an immediate bounce under Tim Sherwood when they lost to West Ham. I just think the confidence is so low in the Tottenham team. The players just aren't playing anywhere near their capabilities. I think Southampton will win. I'd say 3-1 to Southampton.
Arsenal host Chelsea, still smarting from their 6-3 defeat at Manchester City last week. That followed drop points at home to Everton, and suddenly questions are being asked of the Gunners' title credentials. Chelsea have yet to convince this season, despite sitting joint second in the table, just 2 points behind their table-topping opponents. The Blues were fortunate to beat Crystal Palace last Saturday, but were dumped out of the League Cup in midweek, much to the frustration of boss Jose Mourinho, who's finding his second stint at Stamford Bridge much tougher than the first.
I think this is a massive test for Arsenal's title credentials after they got taught a lesson almost by Manchester City last week. They've been doing very well this season. They've won a couple of big home games already against Liverpool and Tottenham, and I think they'll be bang up for this because they know they can't afford to lose 2 in a row. Chelsea have got some massive problems of their own. Mourinho said as much. I think he'll be happy to go there and get a draw, and I think he will. I'm going to say 1-1.
There are 6 other games being played at the weekend, and you can keep up to date with all of them on the Goal Live Match Centre.